Fuck you. Look at me. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. The Invictus Games continue, and they have provided us with a magnificent opportunity to continue the scrutiny and understanding of why Harry's wife behaves as she does. We now have a further opportunity to analyse her behaviours and understand them through the prism of her narcissism. This time it comes about courtesy of the photograph that I've placed in the thumbnail to this relevant video. In this, you'll see that Harry's wife is walking along, and besides her are several individuals. Some of those individuals are in uniform, smartly dressed, wearing relevant uniform of the appropriate armed force that they belong to. They've earned the right to wear that uniform. They look smart, presentable, authoritative. Other individuals are wearing appropriate attire for competing in the Invictus Games. Again, what they're wearing is appropriate. And then we come to Harry's wife. The first question that presents itself is, why on earth is this woman there? Now you and I know the answer to that because of her narcissism. But let's just park that to one side for a moment and ask the question, why is she here? She has never served. She has never sworn or given any kind of oath to defend her country. She has not been square bashed by a drill instructor. She has not found herself soaking wet out in the middle of nowhere, teeth chattering from the cold as she fights to stay awake to complete her guarding post. She has not been crawling through the undergrowth with her weapon in front only for it to swing into her mouth and knock out one of her teeth. She has not endured the monotony of the training run, thinking that once returned to base it's over, only to be told that another loop, another circuit will be undertaken. She has not earned the right to stand with those individuals. Those individuals have been through the relevant training and selection. They have proven themselves worthy to wear the relevant uniform of the appropriate armed force of their relevant country. And they are rightfully proud of that achievement. Furthermore, they have put their lives on the line to defend notions that they believe in, to defend their country. Harry's wife has no concept of service. The only service that she engages in is to herself. And yet, she deems that it is entirely appropriate for her stupid gurning face to be seen as she marches along, chicken legs on display. And what the fuckety fuck is she wearing? The other individuals can be seen wearing uniform or appropriate training uniform. She has fucking shorts on and some kind of coat with it. And to top it all, she's waddling along wearing what are essentially expensive black flip-flops. This embodies the vacuous nature of this parasite. Anybody else would recognise that they ought not to be there, that they haven't served, that if they were to attend as the spouse of someone who had served or as a patron of the organisation, they would keep a low profile, that they would undertake their role in a supportive manner, that they wouldn't be there trying to hog the limelight. But not Harry's wife. She's front and centre as always. And not only that, not only has she no locus standi to actually be there, but she doesn't care about that because this is a woman that has no shame. This is a woman who simply doesn't care. This is a woman that does as she pleases, driven by her narcissism. She has no entitlement to be there, unlike the other individuals that are in the photograph. Furthermore, she is only there as a consequence of the man that she married. She has no comprehension or understanding of what it is to serve. It's an alien concept to her. But of course, she once haughtily and condescendingly responded to Queen Elizabeth by making mention of the fact that service is universal. Another trite, nonsense fridge magnet platitude that's issued by this waste of space. But not only should she not be there, not only should she not be accompanying these individuals, but even if she were to do so, she should be behind them. She should be keeping a low profile, but of course she doesn't, because her narcissism dictates that she should be seen. Perhaps then she ought to be wearing something that would be appropriate, that doesn't draw attention onto her, that fits with the solemnity of the occasion, but she does not. Once again, she turns it into a fashion show. She is essentially saying to all of those injured athletes, fuck you, this is all about me. I want everybody to look at me. I want everybody to see me. I want everybody to look upon what I'm wearing. And indeed, that is what then happens. Shortly after she makes this appearance, the relevant arse-kissing, brown-nosing, supine publications, for instance, Town and Country, provide an article explaining precisely what she's wearing, how much it costs, and where you can get it from. Who fucking cares? Not I. Not anybody that's got a shred of decency or sensibility about such matters. But of course, it's all about the merchandising, residual benefit, all about the assertion of control and the drawing of fuel. She turns up in her fucking flip-flops, wearing something that's so casual. It demonstrates just how self-absorbed she is and how she has no due regard for the people that are actually attending these games. Harry, the dim-witted ginger fuckwit, he ought to have taken his wife to one side, slapped her and told her no more. You are not continuing in this vein. Dress more appropriately, keep quiet. But of course, he doesn't do so because there's a consequence that if he were to try and remonstrate with his wife to explain to her that she ought not to be doing this, she will of course turn around and devalue him. And he's become too much of a simp, too much of a coward. It's too easy for her to rule the roost over him. If he had any pride and dignity in these proceedings, he would have told her, stay in the background, be supportive, dress appropriately. But he has failed to do so. And thus, unfortunately, again, clouded by his emotional thinking, has become complicit in this activity. But it is her that is delivering a huge fuck you to these athletes by turning it into a fashion show. And the photograph that forms the thumbnail to this video demonstrates beyond a shadow of a doubt the necessity of making it all about her. That she could not have worn anything more inappropriate compared to what everybody else is wearing. That she doesn't take it seriously. That she is lapping up the fuel by people's eyes being upon her. You can see it plastered across her idiotic face as she marches along. She doesn't look particularly good, but of course she believes that she does. She doesn't look particularly elegant, but she believes that she does. And it's working for her because people are responding. It's working for her because she's getting the fuel. But with it comes the condemnation from people such as myself and many others who cannot grasp how inappropriate she is. But you all know, as a consequence of my work, that the reason this has happened is quite simply this. It's driven once again by her narcissism, her self-absorption, her failure to take into account the feelings of anybody else because she has no emotional empathy for them, a lack of accountability for her behaviours. And it all goes to show, once again, the clusterfuck that is Harry's wife and how she behaves as she flips the bird to those noble individuals in the Invictus Games. And Harry, you ought to be hanging your head in shame as a consequence of your wife's conduct. I'm H.D. Tudor. Thank you for listening.